So welcome everyone to the page. Today I'm going to talk to you about QHHT, Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique, developed by the lovely and late Dolores Cannon. So I'm going to give you my top tips for your session. So I'm Sheeran and I'm a Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique practitioner. I'm also a regression therapist and I use hypnosis or hypnotherapy to guide people into, basically wherever they need to go. Current lives, past lives, life between lives, and spiritual hypnosis and clinical therapies as well. So I facilitated around 1,300 QHHT sessions to date, and in and around 2,500 past life regression and life between lives sessions to date. So this is just a small list that I've accumulated in order to help you get the very best out of your QHHT session. It may apply also to regression therapy in general, but I am aiming this at QHHT in particular. So my top tip for you is to please trust yourself, trust your practitioner. I can't stress this enough. Every practitioner works a little bit differently, and that's absolutely perfect. You will find the right one for you. You'll be guided to the right one for you. So trust yourself, trust your soul, and what your soul is leading and what your soul is telling you. My other top tip is please don't be tempted to do this online. Don't be tempted to do QHHT online. It really won't work. Dolores Cannon has strongly suggested that everyone seeks a practitioner near you. Now, I'm aware that other modalities may work online, and that's absolutely fine, whatever resonates with you, but not QHHT. Secondly, or thirdly, should I say, this is something that you need to prepare for. It's going to be a minimum of 4 hours, This is going to be a whole day. In fact, it's going to be life-changing. This might be the one and only QHHT session you have in your life, and it's important to prepare for it. So take your time. Find the right person that's right just for you. Prepare your questions, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit now. So before your session, get a good night's sleep. Avoid any stimulants the day of, coffee, tea, any caffeine. This is really important. You will be going to a lovely deep state of trance, and it's very important to prepare your body as well as your mind for this. Get a good breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever's the closest meal before your session. Pack on the protein. That's really important. You're going to need your energy, but apart from that, you really don't want to be drawn to the physical body because you're going to be in your energetic body. So a good breakfast. Sleep well. No stimulants. That's wonderful. I'd also like to say to you that it's okay to ask questions of your practitioner that you're choosing. It's okay if you feel guided, to one over the other. It really won't make a difference if they're level 1, level 2, level 3, but whoever resonates with you is important. As I said, this is an investment of your time. So it's very possible, in fact it is possible, that one session will resolve and heal whatever you're going through, whatever your questions are at this time. You may find that in the future something else comes up, just like a layer of an onion and peeling a layer of an onion. Something else may turn up to you in the future and you may want another session. But as it is, one session might be the only session you've ever had in your life. So it is important to you, and that's absolutely perfect. This is about you. Okay, so some good questions to ask your practitioner in regards to that is how long they've been, not so much how long they've been practicing, but how many sessions they've facilitated. You do want somebody with experience. The exception of that is if somebody is an intern, they're doing it for practice on a student base, and in that case there won't be a fee for it, and there's an energy exchange there. They're working on you, practicing on you, and in return there's no fee for that. So that's absolutely great as well. But do please ask the questions. Ask how long the session will be, and ask how do you need to prepare for the session that they advise you to do. Ask, is it online or not online? That will also give you a very good indication if it's purely QHHT, like Dolores Cannon did it. There's also great tips on the QHHT practitioner website for this. Okay, so secondly, please remember that you in this session prepare for the unexpected. A lot of people may feel that this is a past life regression session. QHHT is not. It may very well bring you to a past life, but you will only go to a past life if you need to resolve something, or you need to see that or work through that energy, or perhaps some body trauma, so forth. The QHHT guides you to the best place to best heal and answer your current questions. So this is why it's very important to prepare for the unexpected. I've had a lot of clients who've gone to future lives, who've gone to alien planets, who've gone to healing places, who've channeled ancient languages, who have also worked in symbols and color. This is all absolutely perfect. It is the way your subconscious is communicating with you at that time. So I'd also like to advise you a little bit about how hypnosis works. Hypnosis is very, very easy to achieve. Everyone can achieve hypnosis, and in fact everyone does achieve hypnosis. The therapy part is the suggestion that's put into you. So in QHHT, the suggestion is to go to the best, most appropriate place possible for you to heal and to work through whatever questions or trauma that you may have. In other therapy, hypnotherapy, the suggestion might be something like to quit smoking or more confidence and so forth. But the hypnosis is still the same. During hypnosis, you are relaxing the mind, you're relaxing the body. A little bit of confusion in there, and bada bing, you're in hypnosis. And it is actually that easy. You go into hypnosis over 30 times every single day. What hypnosis is an altered state of trance, an altered state of being. So if you meditate, if you stare at the TV and your mind wanders off, if you're daydreaming, this is all perfect examples of hypnosis. You go into the very deepest levels of hypnosis that you are going to access in your QHHT session twice a day, since the moment you're born till this very moment you're listening to this recording. This is 𝘊𝗨. So when you lie down at night before you go to sleep, when you're in that very heavy, drifty, lovely feeling, and then in the morning before you wake up, when you're still in that very heavy, very limbed state, this is 𝘊𝗨. This is a lovely, deep level of trance. So these are the places that you will be accessing in your session. As long as you choose to go that deep, and as long as you allow yourself to go that deep, you will go that deep. So in hypnosis, the deeper you go, the more into your subconscious you go, the more really valuable information and healing you can access. So set your intention that you're going to go as deep as possible. Don't worry, it will be recorded. So anything you miss, anything you may forget during this deep stages of trance, you'll be able to replay after. But truly, this is where the deep healing occurs. In hypnosis, when you're accessing your subconscious, your auric field will open. This will also allow more healing to penetrate and to be absorbed deeper in the body. And this is very important. So if your body needs more healing than the mind, then I would imagine that you will actually naturally go to a more of a healing place, and your auric field will be able to channel that beautiful information. Also, please know that you are safe. You are safe, and you'll be comfortable throughout the session. Nothing bad can happen. Nothing whatsoever. It is just a memory. Even a past life is still just a memory. And also, I want to bring you into this thought of the memory. So if you do go to a past life, it's very, very important to remember all the memories we've ever had, all the memories we have in our current life, our past life, all the memories we ever will have in our future life are all stored in the subconscious. Also, what's stored in the subconscious is our imagination, language, creativity, images, symbols, all of these things. Now, this is the place you are going to go to, this place of wonderful imagination and possibility. So all the memories are stored in your subconscious mind, and you want to access them in the session. Now, the best thing to imagine is it's like a little thread, and you want to unravel that thread. You want to unravel that story. You want to be embodied in that past life, should you go to a past life or a future life or a current life. You want every element of yourself in there. So the best way to do that is say everything. Whatever you're sensing, whatever you're seeing, whatever you're feeling, don't hold back. It's really, really important. It could be any one of these things that triggers that memory and triggers you to go even deeper into that memory. As I just said, it's like pulling that thread of memory. So remember that some people won't see, and that's absolutely fine. Some people will know, some people will sense, some people will smell, some people will hear. These are all really valuable parts of your soul and your brain and how you access information. Also remember that every session will be different. One session you may have seen, it may have been very visual, other sessions may not be, and that's absolutely perfect. It's just where you are at that moment. So even if you don't see something in the session, keep talking. No doubt it will clear up, but please don't hold back. Whatever you feel you're outside, or you feel alone, or perhaps you might smell the ocean air, or perhaps you might smell some flowers. These are all vital pieces of information that your practitioner needs to go, and also for you to know to embody yourself in that memory. Don't hold back. That's very, very important. Nothing is silly. None of your practitioner will have heard it all before. And also, if you think about it, if you go to a dark place where it's all dark, I'm not seeing anything, that's perfectly normal too. How much of our lifetime is in the dark? When we're sleeping, at night time, in winter time. I had one client, for example, and she was buried under a crush of rocks in a past life, so she couldn't move her body, she couldn't see, she couldn't speak. And when we came out of the body, she was then aware, viewing like an observer exactly what was happening. So please keep talking. You're in the perfect place, and just trust that. Take as much pressure off yourself as possible. Just take as much pressure off yourself to perform for the practitioner, or to even perform for yourself. Take a relaxed, easygoing sense of interest about the outcome. If you let go of the outcome of the session and just be in the moment, that's the best thing I'd advise. Okay. So anything in your imagination is still in hypnosis, so still extremely valuable. So I get a lot of clients asking sometimes, I wonder, was this in my imagination? I go, perfect, because you're in your subconscious mind. Also, the very first thing that hits your subconscious, the very first thought that hits is the right one. The only danger we get is when we start analyzing that information. When you start analyzing dates, names, I wonder, is this life? I wonder, does that pertain to that? Now you're in your conscious mind. Now you're going to bring yourself out of trance. So why not leave all the analysis for later? What I advise clients to do is imagine their subconscious mind stepping out of the body and sitting in a chair and becoming an observer. You will analyze it to death after. Trust me, you truly will. So why not just take a break from that analysis just for a little while? Just stay in the moment, trust what you're getting, say whatever you're feeling. And that's perfect. And I guarantee you will have a wonderful, wonderful, truly session if you do all of those things. So in your questions, again, your individual practitioner may advise differently on this, but I love some of the bigger ones. I love the big spiritual questions, because you may never get an opportunity to ask these again, so pack them all in. Ask everything that's on your mind. There's no such thing as a silly question, but it is very, very important to prepare in advance. Very important. As I said, this might be your one and only QHHT session. It's going to be a minimum of 4 hours, so you need to set aside your energies, and you need to set aside some time in advance for this. So why don't you break it up into the 3 different aspects of yourself: the mind, the body, and the soul. So look at anything physical that's ever happening to you now, but also anything that's ever happened to you. You don't know that something that was perhaps an illness that you went through, or an operation, a big operation you went through 4, 5, 6 years ago, is pertaining to a problem, an issue, or something that you're going through now. So please include it in. Also include some fears, if you have any fears, especially those that go all the way back to when you were born. I hear quite often, I just always felt like this. I always felt like this. So these usually tell me that you're going to go all the way back into some place, either a past life or another planetary system. So please include them all. Fears, phobias, any emotional questions you have, perhaps relationships in your family. Perhaps you're worried about a loved one, or worried about something for yourself. A lot of people ask about work. A lot of people ask about finances. These are all really, really valuable questions. Put them all in. Also, the spiritual questions, and I personally feel these are the most important, because these are the ones that's going to carry you through after the session. Why are you here? What's your plan? What's your purpose? What are you here to do? How are you here to help your soul evolve? Or perhaps you're here to help other people. In what way are you here to help them? What are your soul gifts? What are your archetypes? What you naturally are very good at, and how can you use them in your current life in order to better have a fulfilled, happy, healthy life for you and your loved ones? What is your primary purpose? So don't stop at one. We are all here for multiple purposes. So if you get an answer about your primary purpose, that's wonderful. Ask how far are you through it? Perhaps you'll get a percentage, perhaps you won't. I wonder, how far are you through in that? Do you have a little bit more to go, or you finished that? Can you move on to something else? Have you multiple things that you're working on at this time? What things are you working on through all your lifetimes? Is there a primary goal in all your lifetime that your soul is learning, that your soul is working on? Perhaps you're intuitive, you're a light worker, you're a healer. Perhaps you have questions around that. How can you best help and heal other people? That's also in your highest good of helping and healing yourself. These are all really valuable questions and really important ones to ask. If there's something that comes up in your session that you're not too happy with, perhaps you've taken a contract with yourself, for example, a contract of poverty, then perhaps this is in your soul contract. Look at this contract, open it up. As Dolores says, maybe it can be tweaked, maybe it can be changed. But if it can't, ask why not. What can you still do in order to best honor that part of the contract? Or perhaps it can be changed. Everything is possible. There are no limitations to what you can ask, and there are no limitations to what you can achieve in this QHHT session, and I truly believe that. Also, embody this practice that the body will follow where the mind tells it to do. The body will follow where the mind tells it to do. So how beneficial is it during your QHHT session to give your subconscious some airtime to let you know how you're getting on? In one client session, the subconscious went, finally, I'm getting to talk, finally. And it just had this really beautiful flow. So also in your session, please remember, not everyone will see, not everyone will smell, not everyone will taste, not everyone. It's completely different for everybody. And each session is actually completely different. So in this session, you may see, and that's wonderful if you do. However, you don't need to see to have a truly wonderful, beautiful session. You will know. Your soul, your subconscious will know where it is. It will know if it's inside or outside. It will know if it's, alone. It will know if it's with anyone. It will know if it's male or female. Trust the first answer you get. The very first answer that hits your mind is the right one, and you need to say that. The longer you hold on to that answer, the more you're going to analyze it, the more you're dipping into your conscious mind, and the more you will come out of trance. You don't want that. You want to stay into this lovely, beautiful, deep state of trance as long as possible. So please don't analyze. Ask your conscious mind to take a break. Ask it to step outside. You'll analyze everything later. But just for this little time that you do this in your session, just go with the flow. Just the very first answer that comes. Some people say, I wonder, is it in my imagination? Perfect. You're now in your subconscious mind. Imagination is subconscious. What is your imagination telling you? Out of the millions and millions and billions of memories or pictures or colors or symbols that it could be telling you in this imagination, it is giving you this. That's how that's how clever your subconscious mind is. Now, there's various degrees of confusion, or should I say just opinions, on subconscious and higher self. Is it the same? Is it different? Dolores Cannon will call the subconscious the higher self, the oversoul, the ego. You may find that the deeper you go in the session, when it comes to channel, when it comes to connecting with your subconscious mind, that you will aspect different parts of your subconscious, different parts of your higher self. This is all absolutely perfect. The deeper you go, the different elements and the different aspects of yourself. It is perfectly okay to ask for healers to come in during your session to work with you. Your auric field will be open, a bit like a sponge, a porous sponge. You'll be more open to absorbing all these wonderful healing energies. So please, Don't hold yourself back with your own limitations of your mind. Don't hold yourself back. Okay, so I've talked a little bit about hypnosis, that you go into hypnosis at least 30 times every single day, that you go into the deepest levels of 𝘊𝗨, beautiful deep trance levels, at least twice a day. So I hope I've assured you now that you all can and will achieve hypnosis. Leave the analysing till later. Trust. Expect the unexpected. Don't go with the preconceived idea that this will be a past life, this will be this will be this. Just go with the flow, and truly you will have a wonderful, magical session. In regards to choosing your practitioner, I've talked a little bit about what resonates with you. Check out their website, ask how many sessions they've done. That will be valuable. Perhaps ask, do they involve any healing modalities after? It's not needed, but just these questions may occur to you. Ask, how long is the session? Know that it will be a minimum of 4 hours. It's broken down approximately to 2 hours in the interview and the pre-chat, at least around 90 minutes to 2 hours for the actual session. And then you also need to set time aside later to chat about that. I've discussed again that this shouldn't be done online unless you choose a different modality that can be done online. Obviously, that's up to you. Now, you may notice that you may feel a little bit sick or tender or more emotional a day or a few days before your session. This is called bubbling. This is perfectly normal. In fact, it's really good. Your subconscious knows exactly where you're going to go in advance. It truly does. So this is preparing your conscious mind, preparing your energies, preparing your body for where it's going to go. So you may feel that you're more overly emotional, more sensitive, both physically and emotionally. You may feel that something in the body is starting to twinge, or you're starting to notice a pain somewhere that you didn't have before. Again, this is all bubbling. So I had one client one time who told me that she had a pain in her left hand that she's never had before, the day before the session. And I said, don't worry, we'll talk about it if it's still there after the session. 𝗁𝗶𝗆, she went to a past life where her arm was amputated, and it left a lingering trauma there. But her subconscious was bringing it up because it was preparing to go into that place. Your practitioner will look at you and they'll be able to know what state of trance you are in. You will have physical changes. Your blood flow will slow down, your blood pressure will slow down, you'll become paler in the face, you may get rapid eye movement, you may get trance movements in the body. This is all absolutely normal. Remember, trance is a chemical release in the brain. Chemical changes are occurring in the brain. So the deeper you go into trance, the more chemicals are released, the more physical changes you will experience. And this is the same with any trance state. So that's all perfectly normal, absolutely nothing to worry about. I've talked about bubbling, with the exception of perhaps if you have a cold or a flu or really, intensive pain in the body. Let's say you happen to slip a few days in advance and your arm is aching. I'd probably advise you that you now want to reschedule that appointment. You don't want to be in the physical body. You want to be in your energetic body. You don't want to be drawn back to any physical sensations. So perhaps it's just not the right time for you to be doing any kind of regression or QHHT during that time, and just set it aside and rebook. That's my best advice for you. So these are just a few of my tips that I've gathered along the way. There's many more, as I said, but all your practitioner will have various different ones for you to be able to go into this experience. It's okay to be excited about it. It is truly wonderful, transformational experience. All regression therapy truly is, and especially QHHT, Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique. Take your time, choose well, set aside your energies, think about your questions, they will flow. Your subconscious is dying to help you. It truly is. It's dying to help you. And your spirit team are dying to help you as well. So all you're doing is giving them the opportunity to step in here and help you in order to help yourself. So please have a wonderful session, and thank you for plugging in here today.